It's your kids, Marty. Something's got to be done about your kids. We got to go back to Ross Toys Review.
Welcome to Ross Toy Review.
Hello, welcome to another episode of A 50-Year-Old Man Playing with Toys. I am your host, Dr. Ross Sewage, of the bands Exhumed, Impaled, Maybe Ghoul, Cold Slither under a different name, some that broke up and they're gone now, and also I play with toys, and you can find more of that on my Instagram at DocSewage, DOKSEWAGE, or pretty much just Instagram for that one. Anyways, hey, I'm here because I got some new toys that are weirdly exciting to me, but kind of strangely not. But I am really stoked because Super7 has put out their Back to the Future figures. Why is that exciting? Because they're freaking O-rings. That means they're G.I. Joes, essentially. I mean, from a totally different property, totally different studio. Back to the Future, it's a fun movie. It's okay. Everyone's really obsessed with it because it has a cool car in it. And but I mean, are people really looking to play with Marty and his dad and try to make him not have sex with his mom? I don't know, but I like crazy doctors. So that's the main reason I'm really excited for this. Let's take a look. So we got, Dr. Emmett Brown, and he's in a very weird outfit, I think, because I think this is the least amount of screen time any of his outfits get. Some reason Super7 went with this version during the DeLorean test at the beginning of Back to the Future at the Twin Pines Mall. He even comes with the little remote control so he can send his dog Einstein back in time. I don't know what Einstein got up to. He probably stepped on a butterfly and, killed President Kennedy somehow with that. But in any case, this is the one they went with. I have a feeling, was sort of hinted at, that they were planning a 118 DeLorean toy to accompany these. That may or may not happen. We'll see if Super7 can keep up the action. Super7 having sadly just closed a store, 2 stores, and I don't know. I have no idea how they're doing, but they did put these out. And the most exciting thing to me is that they have licenses and they can do them in G.I. Joe style. That is my dream come true. I'm sick of all you people with your 1/12 scale 6-inch action figures. You get every movie. You can mix up Marvel. You can mix up G.I. Joe. You can mix up, I don't know, everything comes in 1/12, but very little comes in 1/18 for us old people who are sticking to their guns and collecting mostly this stuff. So we've got Dr. Emmett Brown. And yeah, I don't know. I hope Super7, it sucks because they used to have a ton of licenses. They don't seem to have as many now, and I'm never gonna see, an Aliens O-ring figure from an actual factory, maybe some customs, but it's unfortunate because they had so many cool licenses there going for a while, but they were still doing 5 POA, which I'm not a huge fan of. I play with, but not my preference. O-ring is the jam. And here we've got, get him out of here, and we've got Dr. Emmett Brown is loose, and he feels like a G.I. Joe, which is very exciting to me. He's got swivel arm battle grip to do science things, and he's got the cool radiation symbol on his back because he's playing with plutonium, which is maybe why he lost all of his hair. I'm looking at this. It's kind of a soft version of Emmett Brown, which, Super7 kind of does softer sculpts for a lot of their toys. And I don't know, but they don't have Christopher Lloyd's picture on this card, so it could be that getting an actual facial likeness versus a character likeness is a little not really in their purview. And of course on the back they have the 3 Back to the Future figures. I don't see a DeLorean pictured, so I don't know. I kind of suspect that's not going to end up happening, but I sure hope it does, because otherwise you could get a Playmobil DeLorean for Dr. Brown to drive around. Let's see with his cool remote control device, or he could play with other toys too, I suppose. Let's see how he holds this. This doesn't look very grippable. Okay, that's like a little unfortunate. I was kind of hoping it would have like a side grip for him to hold on to. Not maybe here. Get in the hands. Okay, that's much cooler. All right, so he can actually hold his little remote control. Yeah, and he looks pretty neat. So, like I said, he's got a little tool belt on the back. I like this version because it looks more sciencey. I guess this other thing would have been to go with Emmett Brown from the 50s, and he would have been like in a sweater vest and with his trench coat and hat. But this is the cool version. This is the Doc version to me, because I'm really excited to team him up with some core toxic wasters, because I think they are going to look really good together. Maybe that's where he got the plutonium from terrorists. Maybe these guys could be terrorists. I don't know. You can't really trust a hairline like that. So, these poor guys have been around too much radiation as well. Or he could be playing, have gone on to done more sciencey things after the events of Back to the Future 2, 3, no, he's on a train. All right, so really he shouldn't be around with these guys, but in my headcanon, he's gonna be hanging out around these scientists. And another fun doctor, full of mad science, I think Dr. Mindbender from Cobra is gonna definitely employ Dr. Brown forcefully to, bring dinosaurs back from the past or something. So that's really fun. This is a cool figure. Let me see if he's got some good spin. Sometimes you get this waist drift, but he's holding really tight. Let's see, he's got swivel ball head, so it seems like Super7. They started with O-rings with just the swivel heads, but now they got the ball joint, which is nice because you can say, Marty, yes, I'll send you back in time again. Yes, we can go get the Sport Almanac. We can go bet on all the futures because I'm a corrupt individual working outside the realm of law. I mean, he did work with terrorists after all. So that's Dr. Brown. This is the one I'm most excited about, just because I like mad scientist figures. So then we've got Marty. Marty's a kid. He does come with a skateboard. So let's open up Marty and see what he's all about. Don't really know what I'm going to do with a Marty action figure, but I'm always looking for bystanders for Cobra Vipers to accidentally kill off or purposefully kill off, depending on if it's my children's photos or the more adult ones with blood. So Marty comes off. Again, no file card, same artwork on the back, and no likeness on the front. So Michael J. Fox did not, probably didn't agree to have his likeness. But we have a nice, really kind of generic teenage kid here in a very 80s. Oh, I hate these tight plastic bubbles. They didn't used to be like this, but I guess everything's computer engineered now. Trying to get a skateboard out. The skateboard, the wheels do not roll. I've got a Wow Girls. They had this technology for whirling wheels back then, but I guess we've gone with more of the prop, and you don't really need a skateboard to roll. And let's put Marty on his skateboard. He's got his normal shoes, not the self-tying Nikes, and there's Marty. He can skate. This is a cute face. It doesn't look exactly like Michael J. Fox or anything, but it certainly embodies the spirit of a character like that. Maybe it's Eric Stoltz in the miscast version of Back to the Future that they filmed all of before they replaced Eric Stoltz with Michael J. Fox. But in any case, it's kind of a tighter sculpt than Super7 usually makes, and it kind of looks like a classic 80s O-ring figure, but without a football shirt and a grenade launcher. So Marty's pretty cool. I don't know. They're always maybe he could join. He could join Cutter on the hovercraft because he looks like a sailor, or at least that's what all the people in the 50s were saying to Marty in that first movie. So he looks pretty neat. We can play with him a little bit. Dr. Mindbender can go, I'm going to turn you into I'm going to recruit you into Cobra. You're coming to Cobra because your family's a bunch of nerds and they don't like you, and you don't have a big truck yet because you haven't gone back in time. So join me on Cobra. He's like, yeah, sure, Doc. Sure, Doc Mindbender. I like to hang around with weird old scientists and get involved in hijinks. So yeah, I'll go with you and go join Cobra. Whee! And he skates off, and that's Marty. So, there we go. So yeah, that was Marty. Sure, whatever. We got fucking Marty. Oops, I'm trying not to swear. Anyways, then this is Marty in the 50s. Now, you're saying like, well, Russ, if you don't really like the Back to the Future movie all that much, it's okay, it's fine. Back to the Future 2 is fun. It has issues also, but it looks cool. And yeah, sure, I like the DeLorean. When I was like 15 years old, one of the first models I ever built was a DeLorean. Glued that little thing together, painted all the details. But you know, I don't rewatch this movie or anything. But it's Marty in a suit. And I'm freaking pumped for this, I hope, because I love suited figures, and there are so few of these to play around with in 1/18 O-ring scale. And because yeah, look at this dapper guy ready to go play the I don't know, the Dance Under the Sea or whatever it was. I'm not sure, but yeah, he looks great. They've decided to get kind of like the Tomax and Zaymot, the waistcoat and headman kind of just droops over the crotch, but I'm like totally okay with that because we're playing with toys and we're playing pretend after all, right? Get out of here, Dr. Monbender, you're for later. So yeah, so he's like, yeah, hey Doc, my mom wants to hump me, so I got to play a sick-ass guitar solo to... What was the reason? He's got to play a sick-ass guitar solo so his dad can have time to go beat up Biff or something. So yeah, he comes with a little guitar. This is Super7 getting better at this ever since the Misfits. Originally they didn't put straps on guitars, then the Misfits came with a string. This is like a nice rubber strap. So he's got this sick, what is this? Hollow body. I forget if it was an SG or a Les Paul in the movie. It's whatever this is. So, and it's kind of cute. We could try to get the detail. It's got the photo of his family disappearing on there. His brother and sister, aka Jimmy Olsen and the lady from Bosom Buddies. So he's watching them disappear. But no, his solo goes on long enough. And then he plays Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson and blows everyone's minds, I guess. Or maybe he plays some Trey Azathoth solos from Domination. And yeah, you're not ready for this, and most of your kids won't be either, but Morbid Angel's like one of the best death metal bands that's ever existed, so just trust me on this, okay, guys? So can't really hold his guitar really, because that's just the problem with O-rings without swivel wrists. So that would have been cool, but he can still have a guitar. Now, I know what you're saying. Great, you've got a guy who can play a dance, and you like music, but what good is suited Marty? Well, we love kit bashing, don't we? And we've been doing this since we were a kid, and what I want to do is take Marty apart. And because I was excited to see, it does have the swivel ball joint. Let's not lose the screw. Come on. Actually, not taking any of these Super 7s apart yet, so let's see. Get his head out. There we go. Ah, Marty's dead. Marty's dead. This is what it like. This is if he disappeared in reverse instead of his feet first or his hands and just his head disappeared. So, but not to the point. The point is, I got this guy, and this, it's a beat up old headman body. It's really beat up. And I had this, also a broken Claymore head, and I realized it looked a lot like Hector Ramirez, which is the journalist from the G.I. Joe cartoon show, and Gem, and Inhumanoids, and Transformers 2, I think. Anyways, he is the thread that binds the Hasbro multiverse. And so I want a Hector Ramirez figure. Maybe Super 7 will bless us with one at some point, but they haven't yet. So I'm going to see if this head fits inside suited Marty, because Hector Ramirez wore a nice suit. He was supposed to be kind of like Geraldo Rivera, shock journalist, and they had a show 20 Questions, which is kind of like 2020, which was where Geraldo Rivera got to start. And let's see what's going on here. Oh, interesting. There's like, what the hell? The hell is this? Okay, I gotta show you this. On Marty's head, there's like tape. Like, oh yeah, that's tape. I don't know why. I don't know if it's supposed to be there to like make it run smoother, but there's tape on them for some reason. Well, we're not going to worry about that right now. What we're going to worry about is putting this guy in here. So if I can do it without getting the arms to fall off, because it's so much easier. Okay, that basically works. There we go. That is a Hector Ramirez that G.I. Joe would do an interview with. And also with some pretty slick shoes, some nice loafers. But yeah, this is why I wanted suited Marty, because this guy is going to hold G.I. Joe to task. Let me put the screw back in before we get too ahead of ourselves. Yeah, he's going to go and question G.I. Joe about how they're a horrible military organization, wasting taxpayers' money. Oh, that is sweet. Okay, its head is a little tight in there, but it basically, yeah. We got some movement, a little up and down. Furry's like, yes, I understand, Duke. You think you're important, but really, where did all the money for those? You're always blowing up Sky Strikers. That's terrible. Your taxpayers waste, and we should be giving more money to tech billionaires to create an AI bubble. Like this military stuff has got to end. We need to give all of our money to Peter Thiel and the other guy from ChatGPT. I don't know. I hate him. So that's it. This is Marty's dead with his tape around his neck. That's so bizarre. I don't know. Hector Ramirez can play his guitar, or maybe I'll give it to a Dreadnought or something. And Hector Ramirez ends his show, 20 questions, with a hot solo. Wait. Wow, those freaking licks are hot, man. Those are hot licks. And yeah, Doc Brown, 1985 Marty. He's gonna, they're gonna recruit him for Cobra or G.I. Joe. We have to decide which way he's gonna go. I'm thinking Cobra. And Doc Brown's gonna definitely work for Cobra. And Hector Ramirez is gonna hold G.I. Joe to task. And that's it for Ross Toys Review. Bye-bye!
Goodbye from Ross Toys Review.